o te hāpai o Kimuri. Te atau I hona mana ki tanga ki runga ki tēnā o tātou. E honore he kororia he maungāro mo ki runga ki te mato o te whenua. Whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Arohaina ngā teina me ngā tuakana e noho nei I rungi te whakaaro kotahi pai mai.
Please be seated. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā hauewha, tēnei aku mihi mahana ki o koutou, nau mai, hara mai, ki te whare o te kāwana tianara, kei whanganui atara. Kia ora mai tātou katoa. Talofa lava, maulola lei, kia ora ana, nisambulavanaka, namaste and ni hao, warm Pacific greetings to all of you. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Government House for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge Brigadier Rose King, Deputy Chief of Army, Warrant Officer Class 1, Nicholas Grace, Mr. Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, and Ms. Puhi Wahine Tibble, our kuia. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of His Majesty, the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Ms. Catriona McLeod will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Rodney Bracefield of Porirua, for services to search and rescue and aviation. Rodney Bracefield has contributed to search and rescue and aviation for more than 60 years. He was integral in New Zealand's membership of the International Emergency Distress Beacon Organisation, COSPAS SARSAT, consisting of 45 nations and agencies, detecting and locating emergency locator radio beacons. He was instrumental in the building and commissioning of New Zealand's satellite ground station. He helped establish the Rescue Coordination Centre New Zealand, which delivers 24/7 search and rescue coordination services. He has recruited and trained staff and represented New Zealand internationally. He served with the Royal New Zealand Air Force for 24 years. He has been the project manager for several projects for Maritime New Zealand. Until recently, Mr. Bracefield was the Operational Support Manager with Maritime New Zealand's Rescue and Coordination Centre. Mr. Rodney Bracefield, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Colin Jones of Auckland, for services to the dairy industry. Colin Jones led sales and negotiations globally between 1971 and 2000 on behalf of New Zealand farmers to establish channels for New Zealand dairy products. As technical specialist of milk powder with the New Zealand Dairy Board, he marketed New Zealand milk products as a guest speaker in Taiwan, leading to the formation of joint venture company New Thai. His sales acumen has been significant in enabling Fonterra to operate in 140 markets globally. He supported the establishment of Miraka, a Taupo-based dairy processor led by a group of Maori trusts and corporations. He founded Global Dairy Network Limited, an international dairy sales and marketing enterprise which helps link dairy product manufacturers with users of processed milk products. Mr. Jones has been a mentor to many joining the industry. Mr. Colin Jones, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Honorary Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mrs. Meleani Pauuvale of Auckland, for services to the Tongan community and education. Meleani Pauuvale co-founded Ako Tu Kato Kakala, or AKK, after noticing young Tongan children were having difficulty with their education. AKK was transformed from a playgroup into an early childhood education centre, where she was head teacher for many years. She has run regular whono and well-being workshops for parents, guardians and teachers. She has helped publish 3 books of stories and poems in Tongan for children. She influenced the build of Alaha Manongi, a home-based education service, and has committed resources for children to the Tongan Relief Fund amidst the Tongan tsunami event. She helped organise Tongan Language Week festivities. She has collaborated with Pacific health providers to ensure well-being and education around family health. Mrs. Pauuvale runs programs for children in schools, encouraging students to pursue careers as teachers. Mrs. Meleani Pauuvale, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Mary Aue of Auckland, for services to education, technology and Pacific and Maori communities. Mary Aue has advocated for getting Maori and Pacific learners into science, engineering, technology and mathematics, or STEM, and community development. She leads the Accelerating Auckland Youth and Community Engagement Programme. She led a group of women to establish South Auckland STEM, or SAS, to encourage Maori and Pacific children into technology. She established an SAS holiday program and staged an SAS expo. She runs a mentorship program and organises internships. She launched Coconut Wireless, a social media platform building global citizens and teaching people to use social media. In 2022, Ms. Awe trained volunteers to use social media to keep the community connected following a tsunami in Tonga. Ms. Mary Awe, please come forward. Mr. Bryce Deneen of Tauranga for Services to Disabled People. Bryce Deneen, a C4 tetraplegic, established the Wish for Fish charitable trust, which provides fishing trips for those with physical and mental disabilities and impairments. The charity provides wheelchair-accessible charter boats in Tauranga, Coromandel and Auckland. To date, the trust has taken more than 350 people on the water. After 7 years of fundraising, Mr. Deneen launched a $2.4 million 18-metre custom-made boat capable of taking 45 people out on the water, including those with disabilities and their carers. The boat has wheelchair access, a full-loop gantry crane to allow toilet access to all, beds and fishing gear catered to those with limited mobility. Mr. Bryce Deneen, please come forward. Mrs. Awarangi Tamahiri of Auckland for Services to Māori Health. Awarangi Tamahiri, Ngāti Kauwhata, Rangatane, Ngāti Porou, Rongo Whakata, Kai Tahu, is Chief Operating Officer of Te Whānau o Waiparera, a foundation providing health, justice, education and social services, and the Whānau Ora Commissioning Agency. She is a Global Commissioner on the Global Values Commission. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she led an 80-staff team of vaccinators, nurses, and support crew to support vaccination efforts across Northland. Mrs. Tamahiri is a member of the Māori Women's Welfare League Henderson branch, co-chair of the Auckland Regional Skills Group, deputy chair of Te Putia Whakatupu Trust, and a director on the Māori Health Authority, Te Aka Whaiora. Mrs. Awarangi Tamahiri, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mrs. Kinawa Ewells of Auckland for service to the Kiribati community. Kinawa Ewells published the children's books I Want to Read and Speak Kiribati and Conenerio and the Flag Master, and produced poems, rhymes, songs, and a grammar book for the Kiribati Educational Resources Project. She's part of the Merewen Kiribati Community Group. She initiated Te Wakauia Playgroup for Kiribati children in Auckland. She was the primary lead and project manager for the New Zealand Kiribati National Council to organise Kiribati Language Week festivities. She encouraged COVID-19 vaccination amongst the Pacific community. Mrs. Ewells represents the New Zealand Kiribati National Council on the Pacific Leadership Forum. Mrs. Kinawa Ewells, please come forward. Mr. Peter Hosio of Otaki for services to surf lifesaving and canoe polo. Peter Hosio joined the Otaki Lifesaving Club as a lifeguard and has been on its committee for 40 years. He's coached many young potential lifeguards to win awards. He trained a group of junior lifeguards, leading them to win competitions throughout New Zealand. He is patrol captain and has been part of numerous lifesaving rescues. He formed the Otaki Canoe Polo Club and has coached at all levels. He led the New Zealand Women's Division Canoe Polo team to win gold at the 2016 Canoe Polo World Championships. Through his business, Mr. Hosio has sponsored numerous community organisations. Mr. Peter Hosio, please come forward. Mrs. Bernie Lepper of Alexandra for services to the community and education. Bernie Lepper has been involved with the Alexandra Community House since its inception in 2007. She was the establishment chair, then chair of the board. She played a pivotal role in the design and construction of the venue, a community hub housing 16 social service agencies, local arts and crafts, and used by 150 community groups. She's the manager of the Central Otago Rural Education Activities Programme, or REAP, implementing a variety of social and education initiatives to support vulnerable people in the community, and serves on REAP Aotearoa. Mrs. Lepper was a trustee of Central Lake Trust. Mrs. Bernie Lepper, please come forward. Mr. Ron Smith of Methven for services to the community and search and rescue. Ron Smith joined Methven Land Search and Rescue in 1989 and served in various positions, including as vice chairman and regional representative. He served on the management committee and was nominated to serve as the national board member of Land Search and Rescue. He introduced training volunteers as part of the organisation instead of hiring external contractors, which changed the organisation for the better. He's coordinated several search and rescue missions. He is treasurer and former president of Methven Lions Club. Mr. Smith has led Methven Lions' recent project to build a 12-kilometre walking and cycling track. Mr. Ron Smith, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of the New Zealand Bravery Medal, Acting Warrant Officer Class 2 Michael Marvin for an act of bravery. Acting Warrant Officer Class 2 Michael Marvin, then a staff sergeant, was conducting the role of safety supervisor during a grenade-throwing practice at the New Zealand Defence Force Ruamai Range on 18th of June 2020 to requalify soldiers on the operation of the hand grenade. During this activity, he stood opposite the soldiers being requalified, observing their drills and handling of the grenades and removing the pin, throwing action, and ensuring the thrower assumed a position behind the range of safety barricade prior to detonation. He carried out his checks of a junior soldier who approached to carry out their grenade-throwing drill. He asked the soldier to confirm their intended target on the range. With checks completed, he instructed the soldier to throw the grenade. The soldier removed the pin, took a throwing stance, and released the grenade in a miss-throw. The grenade landed dangerously close to the thrower at a distance of no more than 1.5 metres and did not clear the natural rise that afforded the area of cover and safety during detonation. Acting Warrant Officer Class 2 Marvin immediately reacted, realising the grenade had not cleared the top of the mound. He yelled, "Drop grenade," and tackled the soldier rearward into a small depression in the ground around 1 metre below and approximately 4 metres away from the grenade, smothering the soldier with his body thereby providing a shield from the blast. In the process, he received fragmentation blast injuries from 8 ball bearings to his lower body. Unaware of his injuries, Acting Warrant Officer Class 2 Marvin immediately stood up to check on the soldier and began to conduct a primary injury assessment following detonation of the grenade. The soldier was in obvious pain, having received an injury to the leg from a ball bearing. While Acting Warrant Officer Class 2 Marvin was trained and prepared to act as a safety supervisor, an anomalous occurrence in a routine training activity presented a real and immediate danger, to which he responded swiftly, putting his own safety at risk to prevent the loss of life or significant injury to the junior soldier. Acting Warrant Officer Class 2 Michael Marvin, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the spirit of the whakatauki. Whaia te iti kahurangi, ki te tū ohu koe, me he maunga teitei. Seek the treasure that you value most dearly, and if you bow your head, let it be to a lofty mountain. I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your service to our country. Kia ora, e hohi mai tātou i tēnei ahuiahi. You will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in te reo Māori and in English. I now invite you to stand with me in singing the national anthem.